everyone, Julie here, inspired by memories. Just a quick video, as I've had numerous people ask me about a technique that I used the other day. So I am going to quickly show you. It's not part of a layout that I'm currently doing, but I thought as so many of you are interested, I would quickly show you how I came about doing that particular technique. The first thing you need is, I call it gesso, you might call it gesso. And basically I use white. I haven't been able to buy clear, although I have been keeping my eyes open for it. But I haven't actually been able to find it as yet. Of course, these are tricky. So I use white, and I shouldn't think it really matters which one you use. So here we go. I'm just going to open it a little bit. Right, okay, so once you've got your gesso, you're just going to put it wherever it is that you're going to do the particular technique. It doesn't need to be tidy. Just smudge it all over the page. It doesn't need to be thick. In fact, it's better if it's not. This is just basically to protect the paper and stop it going all horrible. So thin it out as quickly and as, well, not, it doesn't have to be quick, obviously, take your time. But I'm doing it quickly because I've got a layout that needs doing as well. Okay, so once you've done that, then use your hands to smudge it out, because you don't want any step between the gesso and the paper, and that really does help to dry it out as well. So that's basically what you end up with, and there's really, to be honest with you, you can't actually see it very much at all. Okay, so once you've got that, now normally you'd have to wait ages and ages for that to dry, but because we've done it really thin, you shouldn't have to do that. Now acetate, I collect from thickers. I've got some thickers here, and when I've used those, I will use the acetate. I know you can buy it, but why buy it when it's free? So that's how I come about mine. Now for this next stage, you can use either watercolour paints, you can use sprays, you can use watercolour tubes, but I'm choosing today to use these. I don't know if you've ever used them before, but gelatos are my favourite at the moment. So all you're going to do basically is, it doesn't matter about pattern. So I'm just going to squidge it on, scribble, scribble, scribble. What other, we'll do a bit of green. I would like to be able to see the differences. Now obviously I am not actually doing a layout, so, but you could actually match it into paper that you're going to use on the page. So there we go. Once you've done that, I'm just going to move all that out of the way. Once you've done that, you need drops of water, or you can use a spray. I'm not technical like that. I just do what I've got. So smudge it all in like so. Try and keep the colours a little bit separate before you put it onto the paper. So there's the green, there's the lemon. In fact, I might add a little bit of brighter yellow there. Yeah, I'm going to. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit of the brighter yellow coming in there. As you can see, it's definitely not a lemon. There we go. And then, just as I say, water it down. Don't go too close to the edges, because obviously you're going to smudge this out to the edges in a mo. And the same again with the pink. Now once again, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, no, that's too pale for me. So I'm going to put a bit of hot pink in there. Now sometimes with the gelatos, they break off, so you don't get lots of bits. Either use your paintbrush or your finger just to push them down. Okay, again a little bit of water. onto that hot pink. There we go, and I'm going to bring this round. Okay, now you can add as much water as you like at this stage, but I think that's enough because we are going to go back in a second and do some more. So just to show you what we've got. Okay, so then looking where your gesso is, you're going to turn it upside down like so, and you're going to just push down gently. As you can see, it's sort of finding its own way, still trying to keep the colours, using your fingers, push it out. If you've got any lumps like that, don't worry, because you can get that later. And then you're pushing it out, but you don't want a blob. You basically want it to fulfill the shape that you want it to be on your page. So just keep squidging until you're happy. Okay, then you're going to take it off like so, and you're going to put more water onto this. Now this time it's going to mix in a little bit. I still do try and keep it a little bit separate, as in this pink, and you can still add at this stage if you want to. There we go. So just adding a little bit more water. There we go. Now this is, you can put it back in the same place, or you can, as I'm going to do, swoosh it around. So I'm looking at that empty gap there and this empty gap here, so I'm going to pop that on there and that on there. Same again, push it down, swoosh till it comes. So say you don't have to take it to the edges. On my last layout it was purely central, but as I'm just using a piece of A4 that I'm probably going to cut up for backing paper once it's dry, it doesn't particularly matter. And at any time you can just lift it up and carry on. There we go. So that's that stage done. Just leave it be for a bit. Just wipe these down with a baby wipe, and they're ready to use for another project. So at this stage you decide what shape you want your imprints to be. I've got so many stencils, especially from Heidi Swap. So I'm going to see what she's got, what I've got of hers in here. Something a little bit interesting, I think. So I'm going to choose big circles this time. Last time I used this, so I might use a combination of both. So putting your stencil down where you want it, like so. It's really important that you don't move it at this stage. Once it's on there, it's on there. Now you can use cotton buds, cotton wool, tissue, but I find the good old baby wipe the best. So I'm just getting the paint off my hands. Right, so I wrap it around my finger, as so, holding it down, and you're just pushing into where the pattern is, like so. You don't want to take it all, and obviously each part of it is going to have different amount taken away, so this is where the pattern comes from. Okay, so then we lift it up and you've got that lovely pattern. And then we're going to try this one. Now this time I'm going to do that. Now this is what I did last time. I actually scrubbed it. It depends what you want. You can have a gentle spot like this one, or you can have a more significant one. There we go. And we lift this up, and as you can see, it's more pronounced. So I'm going to do the same over here. There we go. And I'm actually going to go over this one because I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to do the same. And then right over into the edge. There we go. And you can take off what you don't need with your baby wipe. Both sides. Bearing in mind you've got gesso underneath. So there we go. That is how I achieved the pattern that you saw on my layout the other day. And you just wait for that to dry, and then you can decorate it. I didn't even wait for it to dry because I couldn't wait. One other thing I did is you can use paste, but you can also use the gesso to do it. I used one of these little lids off of the Pearl Drops. One of these little lids, and I just cleaned it off. There we go. This is my old gesso. And then all I did was using, so you can see that's old. Right. Okay, let's just get another baby wipe. And all I did was dipped it in gently and then put it on and twisted. And then again, twisted. And I did this several times. Now, I did this after the photos were on. So obviously I was going around the feature, which really did make it stand out. Something else I did, which you may also want to lift from me, is once it was dry, once the pattern was actually dry, I used white acrylic paint with a very, very thin brush, which I have left indoors. Oh no, I might have one in here actually. Nope. And basically, I can't do it now because it's wet. What I did is I used like the white paste, as in such this, and you could use any colour. I'll just use this for the time, and all I've done is taken a little bit of it, and on some of the circles, only some, I've just gone round like this, or keeping to the same side. I know it's fiddly, but do you know what, it really makes a difference. And then I say you don't have to do them all, but it does look lovely, especially if you was to do it in some kind of glittery, which I might try. And then that gives you another dimension. Bearing in mind you haven't actually got your photograph in there yet, and it does make a massive difference. So as you can see, this sort of marries up with the gesso circles, and I think it looks really, really nice. So let's see if we can, just for a second, to give you an idea. What have I got? I've got a picture of Katie. So let's just pop this in the centre for a second. And if you look at this area down here, it really does make a difference. And this gives it an added height. But obviously it's all got to dry. And I hope that explains how I did it. And I hope you have a go. That's it for now. Thank you for listening and watching. Bye bye.